Hey guys, and welcome to another Girls Frontline 2 video, and today we're going to be looking at the new update. Now we're going to be looking at the simple things. We're going to look at the time limited events, look at what's going on, the awards and everything that's in it. We're going to be looking at the new environmental survey dice rolling mechanic that just came out. And lastly, we're going to check out, of course, our baby, Daiyan, that I actually just got on one of my other videos that you can check out right here. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Starting off with the time limited event, it actually has a lot of interesting story points that you probably, honestly, like, I don't really spend time looking at the stories and bothering with the background things. I usually just play through the mission, but this one was actually kind of interesting. Gave you a little bit of insight on Daiyan, her sister, and some of the characters that may or may not be coming out in the future. Gave you some insight on the new Helena character, and honestly, for the first time, I actually decided to read out and look through the story, and it had interesting beats and back and forths that were actually kind of nice to see for once. Like, for once, you got to have the operator, the main character, actually be in the fray fighting things, and it was nice to say the least. As usual, the final boss was kind of disappointing. For some reason, they refused to make them harder. Like, honestly, I feel like it would be a lot nicer if, for people who are further on, there was like a difficulty scaler where, like, if you surpass the level of a mission, say like for the support, so say like you're level 55 or you're level 50, all missions that are part of the support should be automatically scaled to 50. I feel like that'd be cool just to let people who are a little further in the game actually be able to enjoy the missions. But other than that, as always, it was pretty interesting, and we finally actually got to fight Tumor. Tumor is a boss that you can actually see on boss fight, but you don't really get any insight on how the hell that thing actually got into the game, to be perfectly honest. And it's kind of nice to be able to like have bosses like Tumor actually get shown in places other than just boss fight. And it'd be nice to see Daiyan come out too, but I feel like it might be too far for that. And I'm just waiting for Lediana, I'm just gonna call Mog, to come out, and it's just interesting to see them implementing them in different ways and facets. Other than that, we have environmental survey. It's the new like little side mini game that came out. It's not too hard, which is to be expected, but it is an interesting little dice roller. It's giving like Mario Party vibes. It's not too complicated once you first get through it and you actually understand the mechanics. But all in all, it's an interesting little touch. Me personally, I would prefer something that is a little more like difficult and allows you to think a bit more, but I'm not opposed to how it goes, and the rewards are pretty nice too. Speaking of the rewards, for the bazaar, the rewards we have are actually pretty decent. Unfortunately, we didn't get another double reward like the first event we got, but I think it's because we only got one character, and it's seemingly going one character, one event, back and forth. Now, the order I like to do it is, obviously you need to start by what your account needs. So for me, I was in desperate need of these basic info cores. Buy them, okay? Make sure I don't care if you don't buy everything. I don't care if you only buy one thing. Basic info cores are so needed. Buy these first every single time. Other than that, common keys, I would say, are the next most important. Common key here is actually pretty good. I believe it came with crit rate and attack. And this one's normal. I think it was attack and defense. 2%. But buying these are necessary because you don't actually get these unless it's an event. It's basically impossible to find them. Other than that, what your account needs is basically what you go for. So if you don't want anything else in here, just make sure you buy the free collapse pieces, the access permission and target permission. Those you can go get your characters. But other than that, everything else is more account-wide. If you can get everything, you get everything. If I were gonna say what you should choose last, I would say Sardi's Gold, as well as the precise grade attachments are probably the most important ones. So I would get that in that order last, but everything else you should be perfectly fine using. I would say that getting the next generation memory sticks are extremely important, definitely if you want to get your Daiyan up. This is actually what I'm buying next for my order, because my Daiyan hasn't hit 5 yet, and it takes a lot of XP to get there. So all in all, as per usual, the rewards are pretty samey. Nothing's really different. I feel like it's probably going to stay like this for a while, and unfortunately we didn't get a weapon skin, so it's not the best one. Next, of course, we have Daiyan, our baby. I leveled up my Daiyan, gave her a little bit of love. I'm using the wrong weapon on her, but all in all, I feel like Daiyan's a pretty interesting character. I've taken her out through the I've taken her to combat simulations and took her through some little bit of military solution. My rank's slightly high, and it was just nice to see how she fared against macchiatos. That was the main thing I wanted to see. And her 9 movement and her ability to act twice is absolutely crazy for this. Mine is a little underleveled, so it didn't have the insta-kill potential, but being able to run in, insta-kill someone, and leave is game-changing, definitely for military simulation. So all in all, I'd say she's a pretty good character, and I would say that she's not really too unique in my opinion. There's a little bit of rotations you need to learn about her, but all in all, I feel like she's missing a little bit of oomph that I like in characters. Like, she just seems like Tololo, but can move farther. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing too interesting, nothing too special. It doesn't make me like, wow, this character is going to change my account. If I didn't have Daiyan, I would just be using Tololo to do the same thing. And honestly, I still am. I'm just using both of them now. So, like, the next thing would be her outfit. Me personally, I'm not getting it, but she actually has a pretty nice outfit. They put a lot of design into it, and it really goes with their whole flowers aesthetic. It's actually really, really nice. The one issue I have with it is it kind of looks exactly like her main one, where it's like if you do a little side-by-side comparison for Smokescreen and Narcissus, they kind of look exactly the same. Like, there's not really much differences. Both outfits actually side by side are more or less the same thing with just a little bit of blue, so I feel like it's a little bit disappointing, but all in all, it's nice to always have an outfit. Just for anyone who really likes the character, they can go get it. Daiyan herself as a character is pretty unique. Her fortifications are pretty good. Like I said, I'm more of a Tolo main, so like going through her segments isn't really something I'm trying to do. But all in all, they're not super good. The lighter ones always are good, but they're not super crazy, but good enough character if you're not really a Tolo type of person. Her neural helixes actually makes her a very unique, in my opinion, where we have a lot of synergy with just running around and not actually needing a team. So like her last skill, allowing her to get 20% max HP and 2 points of stability, makes her extremely useful not only in military simulation, but also allows her to take on more like niche missions that are a little more random. So like things like peak value assessment, doing random missions where you need to run around and kill everyone, or like the missions where it's like capture objectives and you have to have your team more spread out, or also like expansion drill. Whereas like if you're not getting that far in expansion drill, it may be a little bit difficult for you. So having a character that's not reliant on sticking with the team, extremely helpful. Her other helixes aren't really too like out of the ordinary. We have tuning, which just basically gives her more crit rate and crit damage and allows her to move a second time. It's okay. Taking off buffs, a lot of people don't really know how to do that properly, so it's useful, but not really. It's always nice to have people who can take off buffs, but it's not really necessary. And once you need it, she's a good character for that, so I'll give her that. More mobility, a lot of people love that, so it's just nice to have more mobility on a super high mobility character. Free crit rate, always take that, it's always nice. 3 points in convectance makes her a lot more usable, so she can get up to like actually doing things really quickly. And more mobility, simple. She's a very mobility-centric, solo-centric character, in my opinion. Could be wrong, could be right. Very solo-centric character. And also she has even more movement up with her final common key. So it's a nice character, feeding in more crit rate. And all in all, I'd say, like, in my opinion, I take this character as a very free-to-play friendly character. And honestly, I would say she's worth pulling, in my opinion. But yeah, that's everything for the new update that came out. If you're enjoying the game, feel free to subscribe. I am making more and more content. I'll be having a guide on her coming real soon. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.